Hello, I am Brother Kelly Hughes, Chaplain of the Arts. We are broadcasting live to tape from the beautiful Valiant Theatre here in the heart of Winnipeg's greasy tenderloin. This is Kelly Hughes Live Slices Fringe edition. Our show airs every Saturday at 1 p.m. on 101.5 UMFM and also on YouTube until the sun swallows the earth. Thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you so much to my guests for stopping by, Heather Forgie, Sarah Ivanco, and Karl Eckstrand. How y'all doing?
Doing great.
It's a little hot, but otherwise not bad.
Oh yeah, hot enough for you?
It's almost Fringe.
That's one of my.
We're doing great.
That's one of my favorite. The Far Side.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see that one? Nerds in Hell.
Mm-hmm.
Nerds in Hell, and they're all in line, and they're all being, and one of the guys goes, "Hot enough for you?" One of my favorites. Mm-hmm. You're too young. You don't.
I was gonna say I have no idea.
You don't know what you don't know what the Far Side is. It's fine.
I might have the entire collection.
So let's why don't you tell us all a little bit about yourself, Heather, why you exist, and the elevator pitch for your show.
Wow, that's a really big question. Let's see. In my outside of theater day job, real world, I'm a high school teacher. So I use this as a creative outlet, and I love theater, and so I'm really happy that I get to participate in it. My show this year is called The Mistress of Wholesome. It is a contemporary farce, so rehearsals have been a lot of fun, and it's all female, and it's about two women in a really awkward situation suddenly having to collaborate.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
Okay.
I'm Sarah. The reason I exist is probably to do stuff like this. Honestly, making art, making theater, that is my full-time job. That's what I do. I'm here for Winnipeg Fringe from Ottawa, Ontario, actually. So it's really
Ottawa as opposed to the other Ottawa in Alberta.
Of course. But no, really, really happy to be back at Winnipeg Fringe this year. I'm here with my solo show, A Sexy Pigeon Show, which is about a city pigeon on a mission to win back the hearts of humans. So through clown and a lot of audience participation, Column, our city pigeon, will take us through what humans like and why they should like pigeons again. It's very, very silly, goofy. It's a really fun time.
Make pigeons great again. Are you glad that you're not dressed like a pigeon? We had this discussion.
I'm so happy that I'm not dressed like a pigeon, because the costume is like gray long sleeve, gray tights all the way to here, plus wings. I would be dying in this heat.
We because we had that discussion, right?
Yeah.
Somebody for the first we're 7, 8, 9 here. So one of the guys in the first trio, he came in and he starts like changing his clothes, and he's got like a great coat, and I'm like, what's your show? And he's doing letters, which is like World War II, and he's like gonna dress up like he's on the Eastern Front or something. I'm just like, no, man, why don't you just leave your shorts on and we'll just be chill.
It'll be fine.
You're not going to want to wear that big wool coat, I don't think. No. Karl, I've given you time to think about it.
The reason I exist, apart from in between day jobs and being in the background in movies, is to create theater. The show which we are doing this year is called The Shelter. It's something different for us. It's a stark inner city drama, where a young girl who has come back from her disastrous first day at work is trying desperately to get a bus, and she runs into a homeless person in a bus shelter, and the conversations they have between each other as well as the other passersby turns out to be a life-changing event for both of them. As I said, it's a little different for us because we normally deal with comedies, but this one we felt if we could easily bring to the Fringe, and as my friend Mike wrote this, and it was about a month or two after Mike wrote this that we saw the news about downtown hotel burning down, and right beside it there is the Main Street Project, which helps the homeless and the houseless, and they had to shut down for about a couple of months because the hotel was still had asbestos in it.
Mm.
So we figured that
The Manwin.
the Manwin, yes.
Yeah.
So we figured we'd send a call out to the Main Street and see what they think of it. And so so they asked for a script, and they had a look at the script, and they quite enjoyed it. So
Who did you show that to?
the Main Street Project.
But
so,
who there? Like the staff or
the staff,
or just all the people you found there?
with the staff
Yeah.
actually. And so we're going to be partnering with them. A small part of our proceeds are going to be going to the
Yeah.
Main Street Project for this run.
So did now Mike? He writes the shows every year, doesn't he?
Yes, pretty much. He's always looking for more playwrights for Dark Horse.
So I mean, what was his frame of reference for it? Like what was it something that he knew about, or was it something that he had?
I think it was a chance encounter, really. It was a year or two ago when he was at the Fringe. Like he walks around. He tends to wear heavy metal T-shirts.
Mm.
And lady was there. She was a less fortunate person. She happened to have a heavy metal T-shirt, and she said, "Hey, you like your T-shirt?" And I said, "Oh, okay, thank you." And he walked on. Next day, he had a different heavy metal T-shirt on, but he ran into the same woman, and so she liked that T-shirt too, and so he started to get to talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
And would just a friendship, really, and so that was sort of like the spark of the idea.
Well, this is interesting because Fringe happens right over there from where we are, and right in the midst of we have this huge homelessness problem right now. I mean, it's what time is it? 3:30 something.
Yeah.
At 1 o'clock when we did the first one, one of the guys came in and he said, "There's something burning outside." And I went, and there was a little encampment just a block away, and it was burning down, which is not uncommon. And so it is interesting. Like I think sometimes, I mean, and just the Fringe is like literally like right in the middle of all this stuff. And sometimes we sort of pretend that it, sometimes we pretend it doesn't exist. We try to, we've got security and we've got fences and we've got whatever, and we try to push people off to the sides. And this year, they did this, the mayor did this 10-day crackdown on, I guess the police were allowed to search anybody for any excuse that they thought might have drugs. That was kind of that was the excuse.
Right.
But I mean, they've been like, I've watched, I mean, they were roasting people. Like I was driving down Ellis, and these cops turned right in front of me, and I thought, oh, they're going to hit these two girls. And that's exactly who they were stopping for. And they stopped for these two women who were like, as far as I could tell, all they did was there was construction on one of the side streets and they'd walked around it. So there was no sidewalk. So they were jaywalking. They were like in the lane, but you know what I mean? I mean, It's downtown. Like people are people are walking all over the place all the time, but because there was this sort of 10-day thing, looking for drugs and whatever. And it kind of like, it just makes me sick because the city specifically has had kind of, the province has been trying to open this supervised consumption site just like a block away right here.
Right. And
they've been having a lot of trouble because, there's been a lot of people, some people in the community don't want it, but some people in the city, people that don't live over here, don't want it. I've been to a couple of these sort of town hall meetings, but also they're waiting. The federal government has to give them a special kind of a carve out for having a place where they're going to leave people alone that are doing drugs. And when they've asked like the mayor and the city about that, they're kind of like, oh, you know, and so they don't want to have anything to do with it. And I just read something today on Facebook about how about West Broadway, and about how this person didn't know that her she just talking about all the different issues and things that are going on in West Broadway, and how she didn't know that her city councilor was Sherry Rollins, who is whatever that is. It's East Fort Garry, whatever it is.
Yep.
It includes West Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
So it does seem like, I'm just, you know, not to make it all about this, but it really is an interesting time to do this.
Yep.
It seems very relevant, and I'm glad to hear that people would know about that, that read it and felt like it kind of felt sort of rung true, like, because
Yeah.
I mean, you know, some of those things can be very not that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, being a resident of West Broadway myself, like I have seen some encampments close to where I am.
yeah,
So yeah, the situation there it is there for everyone to see.
yeah,
And if some people choose to put the blind eye to it, then
yeah,
I personally, I have to say, I love how like the city put up these signs, right, that say no camping. You know.
Yep.
And
they
there's the park right by the granite.
Mhm.
There are a couple of camps
Yeah.
set up in that park,
Yep.
and one of them is right beside the
Oh.
sign, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
like, good for you,
Do-
bud. Like,
do you know
Just-
what though?
just an absolute defiance of it.
Yeah, except anecdotally, some of the signs have sort of worked, because they know that if what it tells them is, they know that if they're there, they're going to get roasted, right?
Yeah.
So there's a little, you know, a tot lot a couple blocks over there, and they have a sign up, and there hasn't been anybody there this year, and last year it was full of people, and I mean, you know, like it's hard because there's compassion fatigue, right? And
Yep.
we've lived right here for a number of years,
Yeah.
and you know, we've done a lot of people. We ran a food cupboard for a year and a half, and we've done a lot of different things. Andy, my partner, used to work at Nine Circles. We've done a lot of things to help people, but this apartment block for 10 years next to us was just a complete zoo, and now it's run by St. Boniface Street Links, which is like it's their dry
Okay.
program. So if you fall off the wagon or whatever, you can't live there. You can,
Mhm.
they have other ways that can help you out, but this is like a dry place.
Right.
And I mean, for me, like, I feel like all the people that were in that building before all have an absolute right to live somewhere, but there's lots of them that I'm glad they're not living next to me anymore. I mean, I had windows thrown at me and my truck smashed up with a pickaxe, and now it's just crickets. Occasionally I'll see somebody outside smoking, but you do get, like, and I say, like, I consider myself a, you know, compassionate person, but it just gets to be a lot, and it's not actually safe for the people that are living. I mean, that's the big thing, is people that are living in the tents and are living in the parks, it's not safe for them. Like, these people aren't setting the fires themselves.
Nope.
You know, you've got your tents and all your stuff and whatever, and somebody else is I mean, they're arson. It's not like an accident.
Right.
We had last year, there were like 4 different tents in the park, and basically I could see from my kitchen window that, like, were explosions, because they were using they used propane and butane and whatever to it was for heating if it was later in the year, for cooking or whatever. So
Right.
Anyway, Sarah, is your pigeon homeless?
My pigeon lives in an alleyway, so that is
So,
like their
okay.
main location.
Okay.
But I mean, like,
pigeons are kind of, it's a little bit the same. Pigeons are kind of where the people don't want them to be.
well, this is sort of the thing with this show, is like, yes, it's very silly and it's very goofy, and it's like, yeah, it's an anthropomorphized pigeon talking to you, but it's talking about how you can live through a world where, like, there's a group of people, just like the general public, like, they don't like you and they have pushed you on the outskirts, and like, what do you do and how do you feel? Like what is the self-compassion you can show yourself in those times as well? Or it's like, it kind of is a journey of like this pigeon like being really down on themselves
Mhm.
and like not feeling like they have a place,
Mhm.
to then realizing like, no, I need to be kinder to myself to like be more confident
Mhm.
and like kind of live in my own thing. So yeah, it's like there's still like parallels even between like shows that are just like a
Mhm.
clown show versus
Mhm.
like something
Mhm.
more and a dark, serious piece, which is kind of what I love about Fringe
Mhm.
altogether, is you get to see
Mhm.
all of these things
Oh, yeah.
at once.
Yes.
Is the
Yeah.
pigeon you, Sarah?
Yeah, I'm a pigeon. I'm the sexy pigeon. People call me that often.
No, I just mean, are you this person that's needed to find your place? And
I mean, yeah, there's a certain element of it that draws from my own
Mhm.
experience of like going through some hardships and learning that self confidence, which it has been a really nice way to heal through art.
yeah. How many different how many different times have you mounted the show?
I've mounted it twice in Ottawa and Toronto.
Yeah.
And so through those runs, we've sold out every show we've
Wow.
done, which was really exciting.
Yeah.
And we're doing 9 shows here in Winnipeg, and then we're off to Edmonton
Nice.
after this.
When you fly her, do you say, do you like sexy pigeons?
I do go up to people with my business card and be like, "Can I interest you in a sexy pigeon show?"
Yeah.
And they usually say, "What?"
Yeah. I think that anyone who does like sexy pigeons, you might not want them to come. I guess their
Hey,
money
what's
is
it-
still good. but-
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I will take their money.
Yeah, I remember Wendy Winaz, who she still is. She hasn't been here in a few years. She was a clown, and that was her line when she was flying. And I met her in a line, and she said, "Do you like sexy clowns?" And I'm like, "No." So I was not the target. I might have ended up going to the show, but I wasn't the target market for that. You should move your hair because your hair's over your mic.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's you've got all the hair. You need to put it somewhere. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. So Heather's show is right here. It is The Mistress of Wholesome, which describes you well, and that is directed by Alison Klesnick.
Yep.
Opens on Wednesday at 188, which is just down the street here.
Yep.
You've got some other 4-star, 5-star things here.
Mhm.
When did you? This is RG Productions. When did you take over?
I think my first show as AD would have been 2013, I believe. Prior to that, it was Ron Blick's
Yeah.
company, and I went to an audition just kind of on a whim, and then Ron and I became friends, and then when he wanted to retire, said, "How'd you like to take over?" And so
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
And you've been pretty much doing a show every year for Fringe.
Yep.
Is this one any good?
It's fabulous.
Oh.
Yes. It's very silly. As I said before, it's a farce, and so we're really playing a lot of those elements, like, making there's a lot of physical humor, not quite to the point of clowning, but as you would expect from kind of more like an I Love Lucy kind of vibe.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Lucy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, rehearsals have been going really, really well. We have a newcomer in our show this year. Her name's Rebecca, and she apparently used to be a child actor with Fantasy a long, long time ago, and then disappeared from the
Wow.
theater world. And I had the
Like,
good
she's not-
fortune of encountering her a couple years ago,
Yeah.
and now that we're friends, I was like, "Hey, how'd you like to do a Fringe show?"
Because she must be no spring chicken. Because Fantasy's been gone for a long time, right?
Well, she's younger than me by a fair bit.
But Fantasy's been
and
gone
I won't
No,
elaborate.
I'm not. I'm not actually trying to comment on her age, but I just mean Fantasy.
It's 15 years at least, maybe.
Yeah, I just mean it's. We were talking about it earlier because somebody said actor showcase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she's still got the chops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You of course have yours. We know that. Who else is in it?
The third performer is Cora Fast, and she's one of the Cross-Eyed Rascals.
Okay.
And her and I have done a lot of work together. especially with Allison directing.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's always fantastic.
So you're a teacher,
Hmm.
and is it like when do you start rehearsals for one of your shows for Fringe?
Usually I like to have everybody with their scripts before like spring break, so like mid-March.
Okay.
And then we try to stick to 2 rehearsals a week until the end of
Yeah.
the school year, and then if we have to panic in early July, we do more. But
Yeah.
usually twice a week is good.
So you want to be ready.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because I mean, like the end of June is must be a little bit. Kids are starting to go rangy, and you got to figure out how to entertain them, and then you've got a bunch of don't you have to pack up your classroom and all that stuff? And
Not usually.
no,
I clean it and I stack the chairs, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 years ago, I had to pack up everything because I had to switch rooms.
Yeah.
And that was a lot.
Yeah.
But
Just like an extra, just like your brain just going in different directions.
yeah. But the nice thing about it is that I do have the entire summer off, so I can Fringe full time while I'm there. Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah.
And you just wait for that all year, don't you?
I kind of do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I hate kids too. I get it.
I wouldn't go that far.
I know for legal reasons you can't say that. And do you sometimes direct the shows, right?
I do. Yeah.
Were you happy this year to not direct it and hand it over to somebody who's you could just trust? And
yeah, well, if I'm playing a significant role, I will not direct because I can't see myself.
Right.
I don't know what my performance looks like. I don't know what the audience is picking up. If I have a smaller role, like last year we did Lysistrata, and I had 2 pages that I was in, and that was it. I'm comfortable directing in that situation because the rest of the time I can back off and I can watch the stage picture and know what's going on. Yeah. But I need another pair of eyes.
Yeah, in our case, because both Mike and I are directing, we double cast our roles in this because there's smaller roles, but we still wanted to make sure that everything's on stage. So it's a cast of 7. So whenever Mike is doing his shows, I'll be off backstage working at that, and for vice versa, if I'm on stage, Mike will be backstage for that. So we have a cast of 7 wonderful talents there. And
what do you need your director for after you're gone?
Just for occasional notes like throughout the performance. Okay, this wasn't exactly working. Let's try it like this.
Yeah. It is interesting though. What you were saying, Heather, made me think of. I've known people that do like a one-person show that don't want anybody to direct them, and I mean, it's crazy because you just even need somebody to just kind of lay eyes on it. I mean, because you have. How can you know what you're doing because you can't see it?
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like it's just it's a little bit arrogant to assume that all of my ideas are the good ones. Right.
Exactly.
Who directed your show, Sarah?
My partner Eric. So you'll also see him around the Fringe, but
is Eric here now?
Eric is over there. Hi, Eric. Yeah. But no, Eric.
We'll take your word for it because we can't see Eric.
Exactly. We co-wrote it together, so like it has both of our voice in it, but we have Eric directing because again, I'm on stage the whole time.
So what's Eric like as a director? Be honest. Pretend he's not here.
Eric's great. I think Eric's a great director. We've been working together for like a few years now, and we know how to balance each other's strengths really well, which I think really, really helps. And kind of like, all right, you did this cool this time, maybe try that a little bit later with this other bit, and taking more of a strength-based feedback approach to directing, which feels really nice because they're like, I know in many people's acting careers, they can have directors that are super, super hard on them. And it kind of lets the dream die a little bit.
Karl's nodding his head because he's a mean director.
It's not necessarily.
What are your strengths then?
What are my strengths?
This is like a job interview.
Yeah, I know. God.
What's your biggest flaw?
I would say one of my strengths when learning a script is I'm very, very good at memorizing lines.
Oh, yeah.
So I can get off book really quickly, which
Yeah.
is very nice for a director.
Yeah.
And then other than that, though, I would say a big strength of mine is physicality.
Yeah.
I've done like dance theater before. That's kind of
Mhm.
like my background. So being able to bring in like some actual pigeon movement and make it very silly is kind of, I think, where my strengths are.
Right.
Yeah.
Some authentic pigeon movement.
Yeah, exactly.
Karl, how good are you at memorizing lines?
I'm actually pretty strong in getting off book. As I remember a couple of years ago, Christmas, I had to do Christmas Carol. That's Ebenezer Scrooge. But that was at least 100 pages of dialogue. Somehow managed to do it.
Yeah. Heather, you good at memorizing?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Well, I mean, I do it. But I don't know if that means I'm good at it. Like,
You're not the
you
last.
know,
Are you the last person off book?
not usually.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, then there's always somebody worse than you. I was always the last person off book, and I'm super ADHD, and I just can't, I have a terrible time memorizing stuff. So.
My biggest problem though is like if I sit down to study my lines, it's like you sit down, you get comfy, you start reading a book, and then you get sleepy.
Yep.
So I can't
Oh.
I can't do that. So I've discovered what works for me is I go out. This sounds ridiculous, but I go out into my backyard and I hold my script up like this and I hula hoop, and it keeps me moving and it keeps me focused, and then I can actually study and turn the pages like up high in front of my face. What?
Nice.
You live in Wolseley. That's not even the weirdest thing that's happening on your
Oh
street.
no! Oh
Yeah.
no! My neighbors
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. You ever hula hoop, Sarah?
Can't say I hula hoop, but oftentimes I will also stand just so I'm
Yeah.
not like sedentary. But once I start getting a little basics, I will only look at myself in a mirror because then I can see that my eyes are looking back at me and I'm not looking at my script
Oh.
anymore.
But I just want to clarify: you've never done your lines while hula hooping, or you've never used a hula hoop at all.
I have used I love
Okay.
hula hooping. Are you kidding?
Okay.
But no, not to memorize lines generally.
Karl, you good at hula hoop?
I worse than suck at it.
Whoa.
As I think last time I tried to do it, there were several trips to the hospital.
Has anybody ever ridden a unicycle?
Can't say I have.
I had a unicycle. I begged for a unicycle when I was like 16. And finally somebody, my mom or I don't know, somebody bought me one. And it's hard because you have to like the thing is you have to clamp your thighs together.
Mhm.
That's the hardest part.
Right.
And, so there was a lot of like falling down and a lot of like, not getting it right. And there was like, but I remember like at one point it was like, I finally I was going and I got it and I was like stable and I was just going and I was like, I was like Bill Murray in What About Bob? Look at me, I'm sailing. and I got like 2 blocks away from my house and then my legs just gave out. And then I was like, I got to walk back because I couldn't, my legs hurt so bad.
Oh
Then I
man.
had to walk back 2 blocks.
Ouch.
But, and you know who I sold this is a funny story. Do you know who I sold oh my God. Do you know who I sold the unicycle to, which I just remembered? Tim Webster.
Oh, that's
Wow.
awesome.
Like a young Tim Webster.
I wonder if he still has
A
it.
young Tim Webster. Well, he's forever young.
Yeah, but I was, my mom gave him like his first acting gig. It was something called Sunday Scope, which was a thing it was like mandated programming on CKY, and it was like religious programming. So usually it was just like, talking heads or whatever. But my mom would do a little, play, like a half-hour thing. And there was it was something about, what was it called? It was called Three Nails or something. It was about, when Jesus died and what happened, and the soldier that Barabbas and whatever, like all that business. And Tim was this young guy who was supposed to be he was kind of the audience's entry point, right? He
Right.
was this young guy who was thinking about all this stuff,
Mhm.
and he was so bad. But like it was this first thing, right? And it was sometime after that, and I guess I never knew that like he would turn out to be, Mr. Fringe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who
Yeah.
knows? And I mean, I don't know. Were you good or bad the first time you were on stage, Heather?
It was so long ago. I mean, you would have to ask someone who saw the show.
Okay, you can't. Sarah,
I
good or
mean,
bad?
I was a child, so I don't want to say that little me was bad, but I've definitely improved, I
Yeah.
would say, with the years.
Carl?
If we're talking school play, it's probably pretty bad. First Fringe.
Thank you for your candor,
Yeah.
Carl.
So first Fringe show. Not so good, but I have gotten better over the years. I hope.
Practice makes perfect,
Yes.
is what they say.
Mhm.
I agree with you, Sarah, though, that you should be nice to little Sarah.
Exactly.
I should be nice to little Kelly. We should all be nice to.
Yeah.
I was talking about my mom. My mom was, she's still around, but she doesn't really do much anymore. She's 96, but she was a director, and that was like, there was a lot of stuff that wasn't great about the way I was parented. But the one thing I was thinking about this one day, does anybody have old parents?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. But like so your parents died?
It's within a month of each other 9 years ago.
Okay. So, like, I don't know. My mom's 96. So I'm thinking, she's going to die at some point, and I always have to say something about everything. So what am I going to say when my mom dies? And I thought, I mean, the one thing that my mom gave me that I can say was positive was my love of theater. That was like the one thing that she kind of got, and the one thing that we sort of shared. How anybody can take this one. What do your parents think about what you do?
So they were very supportive of it. Like they would always come to the plays which I went to. But they were always supportive parents, and I have to thank them for that.
Mm-hmm.
I would say similarly, when I told both my parents, it was a few years ago that I was like, you know what? I have this stable job. I'm quitting this job to pursue art full time. Obviously, there was a bit of
Pushback.
worry, not
Yeah.
even pushback, but
Yeah.
just like, are you going to be okay? But they're both super supportive. They came and saw the show when it was in Toronto because they're both in Hamilton. And they loved it. They had a great time, and they're always asking about what projects I'm working on and what's coming next. So,
And if I lived in Hamilton, I'd want a little trip to Toronto anyway.
exactly.
And
It's
you're not in
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Well, both of my parents strongly discouraged me from going into the arts, but when I started taking theater classes at the U of W, when we were actually performing, my dad did come to all of my shows.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did he have anything to say, or did he just come?
Oh, he would tell me that he liked them. He might
Yeah.
have been lying. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you think what was your sense? Do you think he was telling you the truth, or do you think he was just being supportive?
Well, I'm thinking of the shows that he came to see, and I think probably he would have enjoyed parts of it, and parts of it would have made him very uncomfortable.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that sounds like some good theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's what theater's supposed to do, right?
Yeah, I did a show where I have a burlesque number in it, and my dad wanted to see it when
Yeah.
I was in Guelph, and I was like, Dad, you can come, but I need you to look down for this whole number, and then you can look back up and see the rest of the show. And I was like, I'm not trying to make you that uncomfortable right in this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Karl, were you going to tell a story about burlesque? I'm
It's
fascinated here.
I'm fascinated with burlesque, but no. As an observer, yes, but any burlesque dancing, no. I have far too much hair.
Does anybody remember the first play they saw? Live?
First play live, or first play at
First
Fringe?
live play anywhere as a human being. I guess maybe not like a school thing.
I do
One outside in the world, in the
I
wild.
do remember I think it was 8 or 9 at the time, where living up in Thompson, they had a local theater troupe there, and they did Jesus Christ Superstar.
Nice.
And the gentleman who played Jesus would later become one of my high school math teachers, and also he was also part of my dad's barbershop quartet.
Nice.
A very good singer.
Nice.
Yeah, and that stuck with me.
Yeah.
And
That's a great show. That's a good.
And Rainbow Stage is doing it
Yeah.
right now. So yeah.
If you are the Christ, oh, the great Jesus Christ, prove to me that you're no fool. Walk across my swimming pool. And that got a bad review in the Free Press,
So everybody else.
and everybody was upset about it now because everybody loved it.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you read the review, Heather?
No.
Yeah, you read the review though, right, Karl? And
I read the review to sort of what
Yeah.
is he talking about?
yeah,
weird.
I kind of don't think, I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't really be like reviewing Rainbow Stage in that way. Feels like it's like, I don't know. Feels like we should just be nice and we should just,
Mhm.
people are either going to want to go to Jesus Christ Superstar or not. I guess if you're going to do a review, you can say the mics didn't work or the this or that, or it seemed like legitimate things. It sounded like you picked on someone.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, but the purpose of a review is to give an opinion, right? It
Mhm.
doesn't always have to be positive.
Right. It's a good reviews, like say like what they liked about the show, what could improve upon the show,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and those people who say that, like, this is the perfect audience for these
Yeah.
these kind of people, so that
So have you been happy, Heather, with all your reviews that
No.
you've received?
No, I've had some really great ones and I've had some really awful ones. And I've had some where like the text sounds like it's really, really amazing. And then whoever puts the star rating on there is giving
Yeah.
it 3. And I'm like, what? That doesn't even line up.
Yeah. So why are you so pro review?
Well, because I think everybody is entitled to their opinion.
Mhm.
I don't have to like all my reviews.
Mhm.
And actually sometimes the bad ones get you more publicity.
Yep.
If they're bad enough,
Yep.
then people are like, I have to see what sucks so badly about this show, right?
Do you ever is there ever anything in a bad review that you kind of, is there ever a note in there that you're like, yeah, that's right?
Well, it wasn't like a bad review. It was a very good review, but did make a couple of negative comments. And it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, everything you said about my show is true. Like, this is good, this is good, this is good. This part I wasn't happy with either. There it is, you know?
Back to the other thing. Do you remember the first play that you saw out in the wild?
Well, the first play that I remember seeing is Picasso at the Le Pen Agile.
Oh my God, at MTC?
Yes.
It was so great.
So
Cool.
I was in high school,
Yeah.
and there's a little bit of a time frame for you.
Yes. I
and-
saw it as an adult.
And
so.
I was a part of, at the time it was called the Students on Sponsorship program, or the SOS program at MTC, which I think is now Backstage Pass. And you had to apply, and they picked high school students from around the city who would come once every month or 6 weeks or something like that. You would see the show that they were putting on and do some kind of theater related workshop, and you'd get pizza lunch, and it'd be like a whole day that you'd be at MTC instead of at school. It was really fun. And the first play that we got to see in that program was Picasso.
And so that, are you guys familiar with that show? It was written
by Steve Martin.
Steve Martin. And one of the things that I loved about it, I mean, I kind of don't remember anything except that I kind of remembered, I liked the way that it looked, and I liked the way that it kind of clipped along. But it was like, there was no intermission, and it was like maybe 90 minutes or something. It was like a movie. But I just really liked how it just kind of clipped along and then it was done. And it wasn't like, because for me, like, I'm so ADHD, and sometimes I'm kind of like, you'll see a show that's, every show's got an intermission, like, an MTC or whatever. Or sometimes, like, what the fuck was it? It was Night of the Iguana or something, which was like 2 intermissions. And it's just like, oh my God, like, and it just, but for that, it was like, it sort of left me wanting more, which, and I mean, that's one of the wonderful things about Fringe is, most of the things are, 45 minutes or 60 minutes, or somebody was doing a 75-minute Taming of the Shrew, but stuff is, it's in bite-sized pieces. So it's not like a huge time commitment. So if you hate something, maybe you want your $12 or $14 back, but you're not going to be screaming for that hour back when you're on your deathbed, right? Because it was not that long.
True.
Sarah, do you remember the first play that you saw in the room?
I'm trying to think about it. I think I could not tell you what it was called, but when I was a kid, there's a theater in Hamilton called Theater Aquarius, which does a bunch of shows, but it was specifically a theater for young audiences show. And the only thing I remember that I really loved about it was that they served you bread during the show, and I thought that was great. But
was it like fresh baked bread, or was it like Wonder Bread? And
no, it was like fresh baked like buns. Like it was great. But the one that I like really remember was also when I was a child, either in Hamilton or in Toronto. There was a production of Cats, and it was just so. It felt so outlandish and colorful, and I loved theater ever since that.
Has anyone seen the much maligned film version of Cats?
Nope.
With all the celebrity buttholes? No, we haven't seen it.
No, and I'm not gonna.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. I thought there'd be somebody in here that would have seen it. I haven't seen it either. The first play that I saw was I'm so old, and I feel like in my mind, how you like remember something from when you're a kid and it's wrong?
Right.
But like, so the show was called The Potato People, and they maybe were wearing big, foam heads or something. And I'm sure I'm mixing up like 3 things, but I do remember the feeling of, I remember being in the theater, and I remember, and I had done, my mom had put me on stage like when I was like 7, and and then a couple of years later for high school, they needed a kid for the high school production, but to be like in an actual theater, and I guess it was my first straight play because everything was always musicals, right? But I remember being in that theater, and I remember just feeling like, what is happening here? Like this feels like magic. So I mean, I have great respect for all the people that are doing MTYP and all this stuff for young audiences, because what a great, I lived in BC a million years ago, and I toured with a theater company called Pacific Theater, and it was 1991, 92, so we were doing an anti-drug show because it was 1991, 92. So we were touring around with these two shows, and we took one to a res in northern BC, and we were in this school gym, and like these kids they didn't even know what a play was. They'd never had had the exposure, and they were just like so curious, and they were like coming onto the set, and they were what I mean, they were just like just kind of blown away. And I mean, I kind of wonder, hopefully some of those kids still remember that, because it's, I mean, there's nothing like it, right? And I think about how a thing that everybody's been noticing lately, but like all these people that I know on Facebook, all these boomers and even people my age, they're posting all this stuff, and I have to tell them, that's an AI picture. That's AI text.
Right.
AI slop. It's not true. All this stuff. And it's like, some of it is, how would you know? I mean, unless you're really, like, I'm pretty dialed into that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I think one of the sort of, and I don't know that we can fight AI exactly, because it seems like it's here, but I do feel like one of the antidotes for it is live performance.
Yes.
Because, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you watch a video of somebody, is it real? I don't know. But if you watch somebody, you're in the room with them and they're on stage, like, you know what's happening is what's happening.
It transports you to another place.
Mm-hmm.
And theater also holds the mirror up to life in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, even going back on like the theater for young audiences and stuff like that, it's also been statistically proven that when you show youth theater at that age, they're more likely going to keep consuming theater throughout their lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like making more TYA works is actually making like an even better theater scene.
And they're probably less likely to kill people.
I mean, hey, maybe.
But unfortunately, like it's not a thing that in general as a culture we value.
Yeah.
And the way that we show how we value something is money.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, how much did Jonathan Toews get paid? Well, he probably gave a hometown discount, right, for his last year here. I don't follow hockey, but I mean, some of these guys are making $10 million a year, which is great, good for them, but they keep losing. Mm-hmm. And I mean, think about what you could do for theater with $10 million bucks. You know?
Yeah.
Like, when the Jets came back in 2011, so 15 years ago now, I was so mad because all these people were like, oh, great, well, we can be happy to be in Winnipeg again. We can be, we're legitimate. We're a real place. We're whatever. And I'm like, there's so many great things happening here. They're just like, they would be like, well, we're just, without the Jets, we're just Hamilton, right? But I just feel like, I just wish that, there was a way that we could, that more people, I mean, I love that we have our people that care about it, about theater and the arts. And I just wish it was a little bit, a few more people that care.
It's more money that goes into the artistic industry than in, sports is sort of an entertainment, but shift it more towards the arts.
Well, I mean, if you put, if you pay a guy who's here in Winnipeg playing hockey, if you pay him $10 million, how much of that money is going to stay here?
True.
And he's going to, people with lots of money, they invest it, they put it away, whatever. I mean, pay a bunch of theater artists $10 million, and instantly it's all just right back into the ecosystem, right? It's rent and food and drugs, and you know what I mean? It's supporting everybody.
Yes.
So, well, maybe somebody's watching. If you're watching this or listening, and you have $10 million, the four of us would be happy to help you. Figure out what to do with that. You grew up in Hamilton, Sarah, until you were how old?
18.
Is there what's the theater scene like there?
The theater scene's pretty good. I would say personally that Hamilton has a bigger music scene than it does a theater scene. I also haven't been back since I was 18, so it's been about a decade.
So you literally have not.
Well, I've gone home for Christmas to see my parents and my brother, but I don't spend any extended time.
So you're not boycotting.
No.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
No, I'm not a Hamilton boycotter. Yeah. I think Hamilton's great. But I would say that generally the music scene's a bit bigger. I would say the theater scene's quite all right. They have Theater Aquarius, which is a larger scale theater there. Yeah. And I've heard great things about Hamilton Fringe, that it's very fun. It just always happens to be at the same time as Winnipeg Fringe.
Yeah, and it's smaller.
And it is smaller is a big thing.
Are there any cities that you're boycotting? Anywhere you won't go? Anywhere you've been and you hate and you don't want to go back? And you don't mind?
I was gonna say, not that I'm gonna say on air. On air. But no, I've done a lot of fringes. I've done fringes all across Canada.
Not even just Fringe,
but just cities in general.
Yeah, anywhere.
Honestly, not that I can think of.
No.
I think the only city that I'd never want to live in is probably Toronto, because I don't love a super big city. They're not for me. Ottawa's a nice size.
There's a thing on 30 Rock where they're talking about moving the show from New York to Toronto, and he's trying to sell it. And he's like, Toronto's just like New York, just without all the stuff. Karl, is there any place you hate?
A place that I hate.
Any place that you boycott? A city, town that you don't want to go.
Boycott. Well, Toronto. Toronto as well. Like to me, there are places that would be more interesting to visit.
Yeah.
Vancouver, Montreal, Halifax, Ottawa. Some places in the U.S. if it ever gets less crazy there, Europe. But Toronto, like last time I was there, it was about say age 3, and just Toronto to me doesn't really hold my interest. Sort of.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say, in terms of boycotting, I will not go to the States until they are not what they are right now.
Yeah.
I feel the same.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, if I'm boycotting, it's there.
I accidentally, not on purpose, let my passport lapse. So I mean, I couldn't go, even if I wanted to. But like, I mean, can you even like I was driving, to Grand Forks or whatever. Like, can you even bring your phone with you, or do they look through your phone? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, it's like a weird like police state. And I mean, I'm white. God help me if I was the wrong color. But it's so unappealing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Anywhere in Canada, Heather, that you don't want to go?
No. And it's funny because there have been times when I would have said yes to that, but I realized that it's all about the experience when you get there, because I've had really, really awful trips to places, and then I've gone back to the same place and had a completely different experience and loved it.
Right.
And for everybody slamming Toronto, I just have to jump to its defense, because I absolutely love being in Toronto when I can go. That's so fair. Yeah.
True.
Well, this what you just said goes back to your thing about reviews, about how you can have a great experience one time and the next time, Well, the place that I would never go again is Quesnel, BC, because they have a pulp mill, and when the wind blows a certain way, the whole town smells like if you took a shag rug and you got it wet, you put it in a carpet, and you put it in a closet, and then you opened the closet a year later. That's what the whole town smells like. It's just nasty.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
What shows do you want to see that other people are doing?
Ooh.
Oh wow.
I have an answer.
Great. Well, let's go to you then. Sarah, Karl needs a minute here because he's got so many friends.
I really want to see the Zucchini Club.
Yeah.
That's by a friend, Alex, actually, that I met in Toronto when I did Toronto Fringe. But it's a puppet show.
Is it about a sexy zucchini?
It is unfortunately not about a sexy zucchini, but it does have a lot of animals like pigeons. They don't have a pigeon, but it's about a guy who has his prize zucchini in his garden, and then all of these animals come to try to steal the zucchini. Wow. It's very, very cute. It's very sweet, and he made all of the puppets himself, and he puppeteers all of them himself. And I think there's like 10 puppets total. So it's a really great puppet.
I have a lot of respect for the people that do that stuff, like the people that do the shadow puppets.
Yeah.
Stuff like there's like a million moving parts, and and I'm one of those people that's always like I kind of want to know how the sausage is made. Yeah. So it's hard for me just to watch up here. I'm kind of down there watching them with their thing, and I'm just like, one false move and you've screwed the whole thing up.
Yep.
And everything is just, that is amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
Heather, anything that you want to see?
Well, I haven't looked at the program yet, but I know that there are a few. I always like to check out if there's a Shakespeare play, and this year there is, so I'm going to see that.
Yeah, we just hope Figueroa. Yeah. I couldn't say her name without saying Figaro. Because I couldn't. But anyway, that sounded like it was good.
Yeah. Mind of the Snail is back, and I'm super excited to see that.
Yes, I'm stoked for that one too.
Yeah. Of course, I want to check out shows that my friends are in. Yeah, there's a long list.
Yeah, long list. Karl?
So like Heather, there's so many friendships that I've fostered over the years here at Fringe. So I want to see almost all of my friends' shows. But one which I hadn't, but I'd actually like to see something called Babel, which is I think it's the Keystone Men's Choir, telling the story of the Tower of Babel, which looks incredibly interesting to me. Again, like Mind of a Snail is back, which incredible storytellers there. Also, I think it's Evie and Alfie on with Alex Dallas back in Winnipeg, as well as Jimmy Hogg. That'd be kind of interesting to see. But I love seeing all sorts of things at the Fringe, whether it be stand up or comedy, or drama or Shakespeare or dance. I like to take all the stuff in, and
you have small C Catholic tastes. You just want to see it all.
If I was Catholic.
No, you know what that means, right? Small C Catholic just means like very broad. Like
right.
you want to take it all in. You
right.
want to see what it all does. Heather is in The Mistress of Wholesome, which is opening on Wednesday at 188 Princess, which is just around the corner here, and that is going to be a great show, which may contain some dairy. The Sexy Pigeon Show is Sarah, and that is. Oh, you don't have the days of the week. Wednesday, at 5:30 at Red River College. Yep. Also just around the corner. Oh no, sold out. Oh no, sold out in Ottawa and Toronto.
Yeah.
So you gotta go. You gotta go see it here.
Please.
Shelters at the School of Contemporary Dancers, and that is also Wednesday
at 6.
At 6. So all these are all happening at the same time. So you're gonna have to just pick one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Actually, her show is right before mine. And our venues are next door to each other. So if you plan it right, you can go and see her, and then you can just walk right over to my show.
So
perfect.
Screw Karl.
Go see him another day.
This will be expecting you.
Thank you all so much. My guests have been Heather Forgie, Sarah Ivanco, and the great Karl Eckstrand. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, Kelly.
And thank you to all of you for stopping by. Now we do our thing. Art will save us all. Peace.